hell is going on. I'm sitting out here on the porch, enjoying a not so hot day here in Houston. Today's video, as of now, it is August 25th, 2020. And if you read the title of the video, you already know what the video is about. There is no dividend with the 3-for-1 Tesla stock split. After getting up this morning, looking over my accounts and stuff like that. Come on, Cat. There is no dividend. You know, after going through a bunch of feeds and trying to read articles and figure out what the hell was going on and all this other stuff, and seeing other people, when's the dividend gonna be paid out? When's the dividend? When's the dividend? There is no dividend. After I read a couple of articles and seeing a bunch of comments, a lot of the comments I seen that was replying to people asking about the dividends. It's a stock split. It's a stock split. It's a stock split. Just being snarky or sarcastic or whatever they was being towards whoever was asking the person, which is quite goddamn genuine. It's just like, where's the dividend? And people, they were like, it's a stock split. You don't know what a stock split is. I'm like, I know what a stock split is. But I had to, put in there. It's like, yeah, I got stock split, but I ain't getting no dividend. Like you said I was going to get. You know what I'm saying? You said 3-for-1 stock split. And shareholders up to a certain date, which was this. I've seen 2 different dates on that. The 17th, because I think I bought my shares on the 15th. It says each shareholder will get a 2 additional share dividend for each share held. So I'm taking it as, okay, when I buy my shares and I have them on this date, for each one of those shares, I will get 2 additional shares. Now you have to put all this shit together. That's why I got on my 3D glasses. You have to put all this shit together. And after I concluded, no, that's not how it works. It's not you get additional shares other than the stock split. You just get the stock split. They include those 2 additional shares that come with the stock split as a dividend. And that is not the dividend. That is just the stock split. It's just a 3-for-1. You got 1 share, you get 2 additional shares. But they say you get 2. That's not a dividend. Dividend is an additional payout on top of what you already got invested. It's the payout. You're not getting the payout. You just getting your same stocks divided. You're not getting anything. You know what I'm saying? Which is fine if that's what it was clearly labeled as going in, which it wasn't. Now I ain't gonna sit here and say that it was misleading intentionally or not. I'm just gonna say that it is misleading. You know what I'm saying? To say that you're gonna get a stock split, which is one thing all into itself, and then add into that statement that you're going to get 2 additional shares for each share that you held. That's the whole thing into itself. Those are 2 whole things into itself, and you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if I start getting a whole bunch of those little class action things popping up in my in the news, like shit always does. And if you really think about it, that would be ridiculous if they actually did that. You know what I'm saying? Because I did the math, because I was one of those people. I took it at face value. You cannot take that at face value. I took it at face value. So I got a lot of Tesla right now, which is fine, because I had to sell out a lot of positions to get into this right here, thinking that I was going to get a dividend back. A ridiculous dividend at that. But I'm actually holding a better stock than the shit that I sold out of. So I have to hold Tesla for a while. At least for, probably to the end of this year. You know what I'm saying? I probably have to hold Tesla to the end of this year. Or, depending on, it's down now, but, it's right after the stock split. That's to be fucking expected. But when a lot of these people start realizing that the stock split ain't what they thought it was going to be, because the stock split is, by nature, supposed to draw in more of the retail. Now, what it looks like is that they did the stock split to draw in the retail, but they also stuck some shit on there to entice and deceive. You know what I'm saying? It just, I don't want to say that they just did that shit on purpose, but it was done. You know what I'm saying? It was done. Now I'm stuck holding Tesla for a while, and I believe Tesla is going to run. So I don't, I'm not going to really harp on that too much, because that actually probably got me to get out a bunch of bad shit that I was in. Cut my losses. I actually had to cut my losses on a couple of investments that just weren't going anywhere. I mean, like 90% down type shit. I had one that was like 90% down. I had one experimental, like Bitcoin or crypto, mostly crypto based stock. That motherfucker was down damn near 99%. They still posted on Twitter like they doing shit. I'm like, y'all suck. That looked like one of them one-man companies and shit. But anyway, I got out a bunch of shit that I needed to get out of, just to move my investment forwards. But luckily, I got into the Tesla stock, which I have faith is going to, move forward. But once, I don't know, it depends on how it's moving. Once I break even, I might just get out of it. Because this shit gonna leave a sour ass taste in my mouth for a while. That, okay, if that's how y'all doing business, bro, I don't want to be invested with you. Because, all my investments were not Tesla, but generally the same sector. You know what I'm saying? I had like, my charge point shit didn't go into Tesla, but I have charge point, iDynamics. A lot of the stuff is about electrification and modern energy and shit like that. So I'm like, it's not that big a deal, because I'm still in the same sector. Everything is gonna move the same way anyway. Actually, it'll move a lot faster now that I'm with Tesla now. But once I break even, or once I start seeing profits or something, I'm just gonna bail. You know what I'm saying? It's just I don't know, man. That this put a fucking sour ass taste in my mouth. It really did. It really did put a sour taste in my mouth. I'm just like, that's how y'all doing business, man? Misleading your investors or whatnot. Stock split is fine, because I'm looking at one now, and I looked at a bunch of them, because I'm one of those people. I'm a catalyst type of person. I find a catalyst like a stock split or some shit like that, so I can put my money into it and just fucking leave it there until a certain time to where it start moving, and then I get my profits and whatnot. Nintendo got one coming up. You know what? All the other stock splits that I mentioned, all the stock splits that I seen didn't mention the dividend. It was just, this is the stock split. This is the stock split. This is the stock split. You know, whatever it is, this is stock split. It was only one that there was a company I ain't know nothing about, but it mentioned that it was a dividend payout, but it wasn't a stock dividend payout. You know, well, it might have been, I don't know, but it didn't sound like one. But it was clearly stated that it was additional. You know what I'm saying? It was clearly stated that it's additional to the stock split, not some all-included mess. You know, I was like, man. So I looked at it, I was like, okay, the only person I seen who did this shit was Tesla. Maybe Metal Materials. Now, I went through that last year with Metal Materials to where I did basically the same thing. Metal Materials had they dividend payout. I don't think it was a stock split, but it was a dividend payout. I went through that last year with them, and I played that, and I made a good chunk of money off of that. Did I get a dividend? Nope, I didn't. I didn't get a dividend off of Metal Materials last year, but that was supposed to be a cash payout thing. So it was clearly stated that it was additional to whatever else was going on with the stock. You know what I'm saying? And Tesla didn't do that. They stated, and I already said this shit, because I like to ramble, goddammit. They stated that you got 3-for-1 stock split, but you know, it's gonna happen on this certain day. Each share that you held, you get 2 additional shares. You know, because I got a whiteboard on that where I wrote that shit out. You know what I'm saying? I did how many shares I had, how many shares I was supposed to get with 2 additional shares, and all this other shit. It's not how it turned out. And I don't even think I finished my thought where I was like, you know, it would be ridiculous if that was how it turned, because they basically everybody would have, I ain't gonna sit there act like I know the math. You would have got a big ass boost to your portfolio, put it like that. You know, out of all three of my accounts added up, I did because it closed at the matter of fact, at the rate that I calculated, I calculated a lower price that it would close at. It's right, about $800. So I figured, okay, if it closed at $800, all my stocks would be worth like $266. With the dividend that I thought was supposed to happen, out of my total investments, the value of my my Tesla stock would have went up over 13 grand. Yeah. Does that make sense right off the top? No, it don't. It really don't. It really don't. It's just like, okay, everybody would have got just free stock, which probably would have, all that shit would have sold off immediately. It's literally to the point that where I could have sold off, even if the shit was in the red, I could have just sold off and damn near doubled my whole portfolio. So yeah, when you think about it, when you think about it, it's just like, well. But at the end of the day, it's not how it was advertised, man. It's just that gets me. That's why I'm not gonna be holding on to this shit unless it just do some shit like it did back in the day, a couple of years ago, where it was just running like stupid. I don't see that fucking happening in today's environment, because that was some totally different shit a couple of years ago. You know what I'm saying? But man, I don't know. This is just for me to get it out there for folks. I'm gonna have to make sure I tag this shit and do all the other stuff that I usually skip on a bunch of my personal videos to get it out there to where, look, if you're expecting additional dividends, it's not gonna happen. That's not what it is. It is just basically just a 3-for-1 stock split. There's no dividend. the 2 extra shares that you get from the stock split, that is what they're calling a dividend. That is not a dividend. That's just the stock split. So I just wanted to get that out there to people, since a lot of people that were asking the questions online weren't, you know, the people that was replying to them were just saying it's just a stock split. They wasn't explaining why. You know what I'm saying? They wasn't explaining why. It's just a fucking stock split. So, and if you bought in on it, because I've heard that, you know, you had to have this shit before on the 24th. You know what I'm saying? You could have had it on the 24th, or you could have had, which kind of sucks, because, you know, it was like, okay, the record date was the 17th. Like, I also heard the 24th. It's, you know what I'm saying? It's all kind of shit. Hey, today, the singer was talking about Tesla had a 20-for-1 stock split. So a lot of the information, you got to look at a whole bunch of different information. You do, and I did, and all of them said that same dividend shit. Nobody said that the dividend was just included, that it wasn't none of this shit. So I did my due diligence, and I still got burned. That's the stock market for you. I did my due diligence, and I still got burned. I looked up articles and shit, and from all over the goddamn place, and they all said the same goddamn thing. So it's a lot of people out there. There's a lot of information out there that ain't totally accurate, and you just got to make sure that you cover a whole bunch of stuff to be able to kind of deduce on your own what to do. And now the only thing I got to pull out of this shit is that it forced me to move along in my portfolios. It forced me to move along in my portfolios, and I kind of got unintentionally stuck in a decent stock, better than the shit that I jumped out of to hop up in this. So I can't say I'm upset, but I'm not mad. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, I'm in a better spot. You know what I'm saying? I just had to cut some red loose, which, you know, what's going to happen. I was just going to sit there for the next 10 years waiting for a stock to get back up to where it was. It's, you know, it's just fucking pointless. So, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. It's not, there's no dividend. No matter what article you read or what people say, there's no dividend. Tesla is counting part of the stock split as a dividend, and it's not. It's just a 3-for-1 stock split. So don't go looking to see extra shares in your in your portfolios when you go and look, like I did, like me and a lot of people did this morning, where we went and looked, and I'm like, I looked down there and I'm like, okay, I got 60 shares. I'm supposed to have more than 60 shares. Actually, it's supposed to be 100 shares. It's supposed to be 100 goddamn shares in there, you know, from my initial expectation, but it wasn't. It was only 60. So, and I even left a message on the Tesla Twitter. I don't expect to get no reply from that, but I was like, hey, I got the stock split with no dividend. Like, what the hell? But I came to this conclusion after I sent that tweet. I just made sure when I sent that tweet not to be rude about it. So that's it. Hopefully this helped a lot of y'all out. Hopefully I don't have to, but hopefully the next video I make will be saying that I made a lot of money doing some shit and not, you know, accidentally improving my portfolio about following misleading headlines and shit like that. But like I said, this is what I do. I'm a catalyst fucking investor. So I got Nintendo has a stock split coming up October 2nd or some shit like that. So some of that goddamn truck, I'm trying to record here. I've probably been sold out of a little bit of Tesla. I got some Tesla that I need to sell out of. Especially the fractional shit, sell out of that. And move on to the next catalyst. I'll move on to Nintendo, which is having I don't know if it's a 5 for 1 or 3 for 1 or something like that. I seen 10 for 1 somewhere. They stock price is not that goddamn high to have a fucking 10 for 1. So I'll do some more research into that. So that's something that you want to be looking into if you are into that type of stuff. And I'd rather do a stock split with a big company. I've seen a bunch of them. There's a bunch of companies I have no idea what the fuck they talking about is. But there's no additional incentive for me to, you know, do a stock split. And you have to pay attention to that number first. It's 3 for 1. That means it's a stock split. If the big number is in back, it's a reverse stock split. You probably want to stay away from it. You probably want to stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? Because those are generally not good, at least from my experience. Because I've looked, every company that I've had a reverse that I noticed that I had a reverse stock split with, not a money maker. Just not a money maker. So y'all have at it. We'll catch y'all on the next one.